This is more effective. Driving home for Christmas, yeah. All of my equipment stopped working. Absolutely everything stopped working just then, which is quite nice. You know the drill. You know, because of my insecurity of live streaming. Pop in the comments that I'm live. Pop that you can hear me. And even better, let me know where in the world you are watching this from. I'm always surprised there's people in America, Canada, Australia, people from all around the world tune in for this little silly thing. So I'm going to say hi in the chat. I'm going to get the conversation started. Hello, 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 everyone. Or should I say ho, 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 ho. You see I'm in a rather festive mood. Tonight, we are going to be painting one of the Advent calendar exclusives. Every year, around the Advent calendar, salutations from Spain. Hola, hola from Spain. And you can hear me. Good, thank you. And, you know, whenever you go live, they go, God, can people hear me? Is this even working? The camera I usually use to stream, just completely gone. It works for test this out. It works for like 6 seconds. I'm going to turn it on. Can experience this together. Like I'm going to switch over to this camera angle. Looks great. Well, you know, when I'm not completely in shadow, looks okay. Doesn't look bad. But then is it going to die? Is it going to die? This is very engaging, isn't it? I'm not sure where to look now. This is incredibly engaging stuff, right? Right, where is everyone? Morning of a loud and clear, Essex, lurking, good. Thanks for commenting. You can lurk. You don't have to say another goddamn thing. You can just lurk. Turned off. Oh, that's the Grinch. The Grinch has struck. Midfield, West Yorkshire, here, you Wales. Okay, where in Wales? I'm in Swansea. Are you local? Pop round. We can have a few eggnogs. Should we grab a drink? It's been an incredibly stressful day, week, month, life. Should we grab a drink? Are you willing to watch nothingness? Hold on, let me put something on the screen at the very least that looks kind of interesting. I'll pop this up on the screen. Black Legion Dreadnought. I'll pop the thing up we're going to be painting tonight while I grab a drink. You'll still be able to hear me as I walk along. How is everyone tonight? Is everyone feeling festive? Is everyone feeling in the mood to paint something? Tossing over an idea in my mind. We'll paint this Advent exclusive. So what is that? $50. I'm not going to sell you on it, on the merits. You should know the merits of it by now. We are drinking. Okay, we are getting festive. Tonight's stream is sponsored by Brewdog. Oh, hit the wrong one. We are being sponsored. Yes, we're not really being sponsored, but I'm going to say we're being sponsored. Should we go with the ASMR? I'm going to bring this right up to the mic. Okay, hold on. Oh, goddamn. Right. Today's stream. Oh, I can finally relax. Everything's working. Everything's fine. I can finally relax. Okay, let's bring us up on here. Tonight's live stream. We'll be painting this sucker. One of the Advent calendar releases. And I want to carry on testing out the Vallejo range. The Vallejo metallic colors. But I'm a little bit grieved because today, does this look AI generated to you, the artwork on here? It comes with this, and that looks super AI, doesn't it? Oh. Does that look AI to you? It kind of aggrieves me. I was in a coffee shop, a new coffee shop that's opened in Swansea, and looked nice enough. I think it's called like Coffee 52 or something pretentious like that. And I was looking around. Yeah, it looked nice enough. Like prices were okay, but on the walls they had these pictures of like babies with hats on, but they had like 7 fingers. and their smiles kind of like went into fangs. It was AI generated. I wasn't staying there. I was not staying there for. If they care so little about the presentation that they generate, just slap AI art on the wall. What's the cappuccino going to taste like? Dog shit. That's what it's going to taste like. Right, but yeah, I really. This set is great. The colors I've used are great so far. I'm a little bit pissed off at even the suspicion that AI art is used, but let's get on to this. I would dearly love to paint this in big Christmassy colors. And we're going to be doing this with the True Metallic set, red armor, green shoulder pads, because we never get to do this, right? Red and green never mix, or so you are told, so you are screamed at to never use these colors in combination because it's going to look like Christmas. Well, my friends, it is fucking Christmas and we're going to paint it in red and green. How are we all doing? Oh, volume's gone. It's back. That's the good stuff. All right, okay. Live streaming. I think it cut out because I was walking down the stairs and it went out of Bluetooth range. That's probably what happened there. Okay, so my friends, let's... And tonight we are all friends. Before we do this though, shall I show you what I've been up to? I've had a very rare afternoon where a couple of people pulled out of... I teach on the weekends. A couple of students couldn't make it. It's just the time of the year. So I had a few hours to myself. I finished off a rather big project. Really big, demanding project. Managed to finish off, put it to bed. So I had a little bit of time to just play around. So I've been painting my Black Legion, my much beloved Black Legion. This is one of the Legionnaires up on screen right now. And I imagine this guy, I think I'm going to call him Curtis. Curtis, after I think what has now become my favorite human being in the world, Curtis Jones. Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent. That guy, I've only started following and like seeing what he's been getting up to recently. That guy, he's starting to believe that I'm not hating enough. Like I'm not doing enough with my hate. I'm not a petty enough person. He gives me belief I could be a pettier person. I imagine this guy, in a similar vein, he's taking up this skull and he's kind of like jiggling it around a little bit. Cardia stands like the god broke before the world did. That kind of thing. He's jiggling it around. So that's who he's based on. 50 Cent. Painting this guy, who I imagine, I think is one of the Crusades. Seventh Crusade, where the Blood Angels had the Black Legion entrenched in Macan. And they lost the battle, and Abaddon scooped up the Blood Angel gene seed, gave them to Fabius Bile in return for some commanders, which is this, the Legionnaires. I'm not going to go through each and every one of these, even though each and every one of these does have like a mental backstory I have, but it's kind of boring listening to that stuff, right? Just listening to people's fluff. Ugh. Right. There we go. They're at the stage, I've only used stippling for these and a sponge to give it that nice earthy texture. From here, they need a gloss varnish needs to be applied over the top, decals, then I mat them down, and then I can finish off the black armor and then do the metallics, which is kind of unfortunate for tonight's stream. I was hoping to get a little bit further along with them so I could do the metallics with you. Oh, is anybody else drinking tonight? Anybody else having a little drink? Even if you don't drink, anybody else celebrating the Yuletide? Anybody else like get a little bit something to make them merry? I think this is the kind of night where we need to do this. Right, okay. You're looking jolly tonight. Thank you very much. I'm glad somebody noticed and not like the intense bags underneath the eyes and the 5 o'clock shadow. I need a self-care day, I think. Calling me, oh, Joshua, yo, yeah, where were you? Oh, what, your wife wanted to take you out for breakfast? What a loser, you and your family. Why don't you paint a miniature? No, enjoy the breakfast. Have you got stairs sorted? My new stairs are fully installed. I have brand new stairs in the studio. Old students will know the stairs had a bit of a reputation. There was a couple of them. They're spiral staircases. It was a spiral staircase. And on the way up, let me tell you the ballad of my stairs as I get set up for this. Okay, red armor. We need, okay, there's forged red. I'm not sure whether that's jolly enough. Do we have a jollier color than that? Forged red shade. And forged red highlight. That's what I'm looking for, that kind of jolliness. Now, this looks a bit brown to me. I want something a bit richer than that. Ruby red, there we go. There we go, ruby red. So I'm thinking for the glaze, a ruby red, or ideally more of a magenta, a crimson magenta. There we go. So I'm going to bring up the triads. So the Vallejo system, I'm not sponsored by Vallejo. I could say whatever the hell I want about them. They're pretty decent paints. If you look at, you're not going to be mad by buying these, but they come in these triads. So each one, ruby red, ruby red, ruby red. This is the satin glaze, it's kind of like a contrast paint. This is the base, this is the highlight. So if you're looking for reliable recipes, yep, you could go ahead and do that. But just a cursory look at this, I would not be happy buying the set. Having the forged red with this kind of like brown, it's like a chestnutty color, which I mean is great for leather, but I want something richer than that for my Santa Claus. I want a crimson magenta. Okay, let's pop some of these colors in one of my discs, or even two of my discs. Okay, base color first, forged red. Ooh, this first time opening this up, I could do a bit of an ASMR thing again. I'll tell you the ballad of my stairs. So when I moved into this office, for those unfamiliar with Little Legend lore, I bought an office. Yeah, I took the plunge. I actually bought an office about a year ago. Was it 2 years? Anyway, yeah, about a year ago I bought it. And of course, whenever you buy a property, it's not exactly a fixer-upper, but there's a few issues with it. Oh, I don't quite like that orangey tone. So let's go ruby red for the highlight. You know, there's a couple of issues with it, one of which being the stairs. Real big problem with the stairs. One of the steps kind of sank when you put weight on it. And, you know, I'm a big guy, I'm 6'4", I weigh a lot. People in our hobby generally, I hate to make generalizations, tend towards the more Santa-esque appearance. And it was a little bit of a bone of contention that those stairs. So it's been something I've been meaning to replace and saving and scraping up, and we host classes here. So every penny I've earned off those classes has gone into a new boiler and new stairs. But yes, brand new stairs. And I bet you, Keith, when you're here next week for the Christmas party, you're still going to complain about them. There's no pleasing you goddamn people. Okay, because they're stable as all hell, but they're a little bit narrow. Okay, what color is this? Forged red. Okay, I'm going to look at this miniature. Where is my light? Where is my shadow? I go through this process with my students. One of the best things you can do, one of the best practices you could develop with your miniature painting is thinking, where does light naturally fall on this subject? So I can hold it beneath a strong light source and then take a picture. Don't need to do that because I can see it up on screen right now. Scotch, who's drinking scotch tonight? Can't stand the stuff myself. Tastes like bile to me. So I look at this miniature, look at this. Okay, I want all of this pretty much to be in red. Ooh, good coverage. So the thing is with metallics, I don't want to completely base coat the miniature. You can absolutely do this, but for me, I want a slightly more evolved process. God forbid I should take the kids to eat. How dare you feed your children? Absolutely despicable stuff. You should be in the house, alone, painting, like a madman. Okay. But Joshua is one of my students, and he is painting word bearers at the moment. So any words of encouragement for word bearers, if you want to bully him, feel free to. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I can see my light source hits the top here. Now I don't want to completely cover it. I want to leave black around it. Oh, this miniature, by the way, you can download the STL for it now via the Patreon. So the light hits the top here, develop that. I want to leave that in absolute black, this portion. And even though we're painting in true metallic, I still want to develop the light and shadows in slightly more of an exaggerated way, in a non-metallic style. So I can leave the borders called the Terminator. So when you look at the Earth, for example, you have the sky, the sun. This is the kind of quality stream you're going to get. The more I drink, the more incoherent I'm going to become. Who in the name of fuck is that? I'm not answering that. Not a chance. Who could that be? Is there somebody in the comments? I'm drinking mulled wine. Nice stuff. Lovely. Is somebody in the comments? Is somebody actually trying to come into the studio? I'm not letting them in. Because it could be a, well, I'm not going to say that because I'm going to get demonetized, but it could be somebody not friendly. So light. Okay, when it comes to non-metallic metal, I'm a little bit afraid now. I feel like there's somebody out there waiting to... Does anybody text me? No? This is my last stream. It's been wonderful knowing you all. Okay, so when you look at the Earth from up above, you have the bit of the globe that's lighted by the sun. You have that line of black dividing light to shadow. And then you have the shadow, the bits that's in the night. So the bit in between there, separating light from dark, is called the Terminator. So when it comes to non-metallic metal, we can develop the Terminator a very, very... That's really put me off now, because I never get calls this late in the night. Okay. So I'm going to develop the bounce reflection. Now this is such an important process. So light not only hits the top of the miniature, instead it strikes somewhere like down here and bounces back up. And we can suggest that with our bounce reflections. Even though we're dealing with true metallic paints, we can still use the same principles that govern non-metallic lighting to give ourselves a much more exaggerated, more pleasing result. Who the hell is... Oh, right, I can hear another buzzer. So it's somebody trying to get access to the building, and they're just trying all the apartments randomly. Okay, this is a great... Let's see how close we could zoom this in. All right, look at that. Can you hear the Christmas music in there? Okay, Christmas songs. Greatest... I've shouted at Siri, not Siri, my Amazon box to play Christmas music. It's just playing random music. What should we put? I'm not putting Indian music on either. Like I know there's a trend for Christmas Indian music. I'm not putting it on. Not the season. It's not seasonal. Okay. I can develop this out. Leave a shadow. Terminator. And I can build the bounce reflection underneath here. Oh, look at him. This will make a good Corsair. And apparently they are coming out, the Red Corsairs. And we do have some information. I mean, well, I'm just parroting whatever Valrak says, but some information on the new yearly release, like the Christmas Day release. Got my own Christmas Day release to come. It's going to be far more exciting than what Games Workshop can produce. But, you know, they make a good... They make a good second. They make a good follow-up act. What are you hoping to see from Games Workshop? Do you hope to see a Primarch? And if it is a Primarch, which Primarch? Do you hope to see a plastic Warhound? Or let's think big, let's dream big, shall we? Plastic Thunderhawk. What do you think we'll see? Or what do you want to see? And we can play with our imaginations. We can play silly buggers. Let's dream big, shall we? So what do you think we'll see? And what do you hope we'll see? Oh, and if you do have any questions about the paint, feel free to fire them along. Right, okay, pouring a drink to join you. Nice, okay. It's noonish here, so no drinking. How do you think about it for word bearers? No, you've got a scheme, paint a damn miniature in the scheme that you have. No chopping and changing, but yes, this would make quite a good word bearer scheme. They're actually released Angron. You know, I had a commission for Angron. I've got a couple of commissions for Angron, Demon Angron. One of them, client, fully paid up. He normally I take a 50% deposit, but this gentleman, he didn't like owing money, paid up the entire thing, thinking it was just around the corner. Month after month goes by. Where is it? Just this past week, I had to refund him. There's only so much patience can last, and this is a very unusual situation. It wasn't the case of like I took the deposit and the miniature was released. It was just a case of this miniature might not see a release. But we're going to paint him a Garrow instead, which is a nice compromise. But oh man, I wanted that Garrow. I wanted that Angron. I really wanted to paint. And when he comes out, I'm sure I've got one commission left for him. So like I'm not out of pocket or anything. Do you think I could sue Games Workshop? That'd be something. I mean, they're very strong with their legal arm, aren't they? Can I claim loss of revenue? Any armchair lawyers to give me bad legal advice? Anybody can chat GPT that very quickly? Okay. Achtung Xmas is the best Christmas song. Achtung. I'm not putting that. I think you're trying to trick me there, Johan. No, I'm not putting that on. You're trying to fool me. Oh, by the way, this miniature, you can print this out. The STL is available on the Patreon right now. But if you don't have access to a 3D printer and you want all of the Christmas STLs, we got one from Bolter Jugend. I keep messing that up. Wilf has just previewed his sculpt today, as well as this miniature. You can buy a physical box from us, and that's available on the website. So if you're looking for that perfect gift for your partner, for your wife, she's looking for a deranged little Santa Claus. And you can tell about the theory of non-metallic metal applied with true metallic colors. Like, did you know you can use the same principles? You're definitely getting laid that night. Oh, what more could a woman want? Or man, wherever your proclivity is. I can feel myself getting a little bit blue tonight, so apologies. There's no children watching this. I mean, my demographic, when I look at the demographic on YouTube, it's all 40-year-old dudes. So if you are under 16, leave now. Because we're gonna, let's turn the air blue. Or red. I'm not sure what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna oh, this is a nice area. Little dots. Yeah, the coverage is excellent on this. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm a bit worried I'm not getting this all on camera. Okay, let's have a look what we're saying. They actually released Elder on Dinos. Do you think that's going to come? Elder? So there's a rumor that the Corsairs were coming, but I'm not sure whether that's the Red Corsairs or Elder Corsairs. I would love a full-on new faction with Warhammer. Warhammer 40k. Exodites. I would freaking love that. I mean, oh, I'm not sure whether the phone's picking that up. Okay, you can see the line of shadow. I'm trying to keep it consistent across the miniature to give the miniature some kind of internal semblance. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to paint all. Yeah, I'm going to put the structure on the armor at the very least, and then you can see how I develop it. You can see all across here, I'm trying to create like these little eye patterns. So I'm constantly looking for these sort of patterns, tiny little tornadoes. So along here, I create a tiny tornado. I think it's the name of like a UK grunge rappers or create one down. Almost create like a little Christmas tree for myself in the patterning. Nice. Okay. It's the best. I'll send you a link on Discord. No, I'm not playing Achtung. I am not playing it. So Johan's another student of mine, and he sends his payment independent of Patreon. And this joker labeled them thanks for the drugs, or like hush money for the tax evasion on the invoice. And my accountant said, yeah, I know it's probably a joke, but could you please tell him not to label the payments as tax evasion? HMRC, that's a bit of a red flag. So he is definitely the kind of guy who would sink my entire career for me playing Achtung. Tips for mixing paint but not overloading your brush. Oh my God, you're gonna make me do this. You're gonna make me talk about that when I'm half cut. Tips, hold on. Let me do this. Tips for loading your brush and not overloading your brush. Not overloading your brush. I don't know. Just don't do it. How about that for any kind of tuition? Huh? Who wants to sign for tuition in the new year for that kind of insight? Just don't do it. Just don't do it, bruh. I don't know. I'm not answering that now. I'm just going to drink. Paint red. Okay. Let's look at the process of loading up the brush, because I feel a bit guilty. No. Okay. So I have a little bit thinner on here, as well as the paint. The brush I always load up with thinner first. This is primed. I use a little bit thinner then to mix into the paint. I make this little circular motion, and you can see it goes about halfway up, but because the paint is primed, so the paintbrush is primed a little bit thinner, the paint's going to carry on up. And this is overloaded, so I need to bleed off excess. That's why whenever you see my thumb, it's always covered in paint, because I get rid of excess pigment. And that way your brush is perfectly loaded every single time. How about that? On my mind recently, Christmas projects. It's the dream, it's the hope that over the Christmas period, you're going to have a little bit of time to sink your teeth into something substantial in a big, meaty, chunky project. Who out there has this dream, has this promise of a Christmas project, and what are they? I'm going to chat a few minutes to answer that. I'm going to tell you what my Christmas project is. And outside of work, I mean, I'm determined to get the Colour Theory book done and dusted. I found a publisher for it, does it a really good price. The book is 99% written. It's been that way all year, just finding a grace period. And this Colour Theory book has been developed alongside students when I teach them about colour theory, like just the basics of colour theory, nothing too advanced, and how to practically apply it to miniatures. So you're able to make better decisions with your miniature painting. But this has been developed over years, PDFs, and teaching students the understanding of colour theory. But this thing has been in a state of like 99% complete for well over a year. That's my professional project, but that's work. We're not talking work, we're talking fun and enjoyment. What is your fun, enjoyment Christmas project? If I go off camera, by the way, scream at me. How many people do we have watching? 10. Wow, not bad. On a Saturday evening, haven't you got anything better to do? We're going to lose a viewer for that. Okay, that's the structure done. That's the structure of my marine done. To celebrate, I'm going to take a drink. Yes. Merry Christmas. God, I look rough. Holy God. I look like a homeless person. I look like I live on the streets. Hopefully they release 30 Angron, a model from the dungeon. Yeah, what has happened to that miniature? I mean, I hear things, nothing definitive. Like, it's not like I know anybody at the plant or anything. I've heard that the mold has been damaged. I've also heard that the mold has been lost. Who knows between the two? Okay, tips. Right, doing 86 Blood Angels infantry and a jump dread for Acon. Nice. So not just a holiday project, but overall winter project. Acon, is that Adepticon by any chance? It'd be good to see you again there. It'd be really, really good to see you there. Okay, Mournival, you know my project, but for everyone else, it's my wife calls me hobby midlife crisis. Yeah. So Keith from the Mournival podcast, he is collecting a 2nd edition Space Wolf army. The Space Wolf army of his dreams, the one he grew up with. The thing that he's always wanted, and he was able to buy one of those army box sets for quite a reasonable price. And I've been helping him develop that very classic heavier metal style. And we've been developing that alongside one another. So that is really a dream project for Keith. Okay, yeah, Adepticon, nice. Is anyone else gearing up for Adepticon? Will I see anybody at Adepticon? It'd be great to see people. Apparently they can't mold his wings. Okay, theory number 3, can't mold his wings. Oof. Just send the STL out for free. That's what I do. Okay. Right, we got this up on screen. I don't want to go orange with this thing. Oh, no, shoot. So the system calls for me now to use a color. Now, I'm not going to use this. This looks dreadful. Forge red. Let's have a look at it. This looks way too brown. I do not want to end up with a brown. I want something rich. No, not forge red. No. Crimson magenta, that's more like it. Something with a little bit of bollocks about it. There we go. That's more like it. Let's have a look at. Oh shoot. What's this? Ruby red looks like. Yeah, ruby red looks nice. It looks more like clotted blood. This is what I want. More saturated, more color. This is what I want. Oh, my wife's going to think I've been doing something that I shouldn't be. Okay, this is what I want. Crimson magenta. 'Tis the season. My aim here is to cover all this black. Now this is going to really struggle. This is going to really struggle to try and get over the black, but that's kind of the point. True metallic metal has a really hard time with contrast, especially like really harsh cutting contrast between mid-tone, highlight, shadow. Non-metallic metal does this really well because you can physically put it in with a paintbrush because it doesn't dry shiny, it hasn't got the pigment in there. You can generate more contrast quicker. So with this, I want to leave the shadows absolute black. I want to really struggle over this. Oh God, this hat is molting. And I can see, oh no, there's nothing on here. That's, okay, we're fine. Yeah, it's molting a little bit. You know, it's not even like a proper Christmas hat either. I stole this from my son this morning, but I can't fit this on my face. Absolute mess of a human being right now. Okay, so where's the black? This is a nice big area. I'm going to sweep the brush into here. And this is just pure crimson magenta. It's just feathering just over the crimson that we've dealt with. There we go. Now this isn't the way you're supposed to use this. You're supposed to just slap this over everything like this. It acts a bit like a contrast paint. Let's try that advertised. It is nice for this because it really does just find its way into all those little nooks and crannies. Let's see what it does. Smash it over everything. It's not how I usually do metallics, but why not just for this? Need more crimson magenta. Okay, of course you'll see me. Yeah, Dan, I'll see you at Adepticon. Anyone else going to Adepticon? Or anybody else aspire? Anybody else doing anything in the new year? It's a bit early to be planning this stuff, but what are our hobby goals of 2026? That feels like a discussion for another date. Let's park that. That's the drink talking. Christmas projects. Let's stay on it. Christmas projects. Okay, I'm not happy with the lack of... See, like the magenta wash has really killed the contrast in those areas. Okay. Yeah, Christmas projects. What's my Christmas project? I got a couple. One, Black Legion. Love the Black Legion. I'm painting them like crazy at the moment. So that guy jiggling in the head at the beginning of the stream, I want to get his squad done. I have 2 squads painted up for my Black Legion. A Palatine Blade, or Fallen Palatine Blade, Flawless Blades. I'm going to tell a lie, I have 3. Noise Marines. And I have a unit of Devastators. A bunch of Lieutenants. It's not really much of an army. It's more of like a collection of stuff I wanted to paint, which I guess is appropriate for a warband. But I'm hoping to get at least 1 tactical squad done, so I can at least start pretending that I have an army rather than just like a collection of random stuff. Weirdly, I was recognized in the street the other day. Yeah, I was recognized by a neighbor. It's like, oh, you're the guy who... I was like, yes, I am. Internationally renowned miniature painter. Award-winning... I won an award, by the way. Where's my award? Award! Award! I want an award! An award-winning painter. International award-winning painter. Anyway, we got to chatting, and he said his friend his friendship group starting Blood Bowl. And I need a new project, like I need another hole in my cock. I can't commit. No, stop telling me this. But the idea of painting up a Blood Bowl collection, you know, you only get the idea and you can kind of get the taste of a project. You feel it. I feel like painting Blood Bowl. So I found these wonderful sculpts by a guy called Brute Fun Miniatures. Let me grab a couple of them here. Primed them up earlier today. Look at these dynamic bastards. They're great, aren't they? This is my favorite sculpt. Look how great they look. Blood Bowl. That could potentially be my other Christmas project. Option number, are we on 2 or 3? Paint up a Lucius. But I'm just coming off the back of a rather intensive project, single piece project. So I don't think I got in me to dedicate myself to another single piece project like that. I want something a little bit more grim-darky, a little bit more looser. Something I don't feel like I get a headache with the amount of concentration I need to put into it. So I'm thinking Trench Crusade. I've printed up a gang, a unit, a force, Heretic Legion last year. They've been sat on the shelf all year looking at me. Papa, why won't you paint me? Papa, Papa, why won't you paint me? So that's the other option, Trench Crusade. Which of those options would you like to see me? Let's pass off my own personal responsibility onto you. What would you like to see from those collections? That magenta is the absolute tits. That works way better than what they recommend. Okay, what else we got? Adam Ginn, have I said that correctly? Hopefully finish building my 30k Blood Angels army. 30 down. Oh, nice. Okay, are you on Insta? Post up. Anybody here? Post up your Instas. Let's all follow each other. How have you felt with Blood Angels in this edition? Like, what kind of army are you trying to produce with them? This year, in the Advent calendar, I'm doing a retrospective on my Blood Angel collection. And it's awfully bittersweet looking at, because the army's done, it's finished. And it's how often do we say that about a collection? It is done. I need to move on. There's always the hope, there's always the feeling like you need to come back to them one day, and you might add the unit here and there. I just need to say, no, these are done. So it's a really bittersweet moment, going back and looking at the development of the army, the thinking, the ideology, the kind of like references I use for it. But that does mean I got a playable army in this edition. The problem is I only want to play Sons of Horus in this edition. Using Just Staring is freaking sick in this edition. They are nails. They feel like how they're represented in the lore. Absolute psychopaths. So good to use. And I'm painting up 20, or perhaps that could be my other project. I'm painting up 20 Catchallan Reavers at the moment, which are bad boys in the extreme. I do have a Blood Angel army, Generation 1. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this edition's Blood Angels, how you'll be running them, are you theming them? What's your thinking when it comes to your Blood Angels? You know, Christmas projects doesn't only have to be about painting, it could be about converting. Max and I on the Hobby Hammer cast produced yesterday, we were talking about true scaling. Remember that? True scaling? I had a really, I can't say that word, but really, I'm thinking of the C word. Comment about my work. Like, oh, true scaling, was this the early 2000s again? It's like, piss off, mate. Get a sense of humor. Or even better, you know, just don't darken my door. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm loving my true scaling project. It's been a dream of mine to do true scaling. I can't remember why I got into this subject, other than like saying, fuck that guy. What are we all doing? I'd like to see Blood Bowl. Yeah, Blood Bowl would be badass. Decided between the Emperor's Children, World Eaters, or Black Legion Army. Right. Let's theory hammer this out, shall we, as we wait for the paint to dry. So these inks, these contrast paints, they do take a little bit more time to dry than normal. But we got rip-roaring conversational point here. Emperor's Children, World Eaters, or Black Legion. Now, those are three very diverse collections. Will this be for 30k? I guess it has to be for 30k. It has to be 40k for all of those selections to work. Or maybe Scouring era. Ooh, right. It depends what you want from the project. Are you looking for a more of like a painterly approach? What recipes do you like? What play styles? There's just so much we need to talk about here. I need more information. What play style do you like? How good of a painter are you? Do you which of those like styles do you enjoy the most? Because Emperor's Children do benefit from a slightly more elevated, eloquent paint job, whereas World Eaters, you can really slap the shit out of them with oils and weathering powder and blood effects and just drench them in that stuff. So if you do like quick, nasty, gory armies, World Eaters are the way for you. Fast-footed, aggressive. But then when you make that consideration, you need to, for me, build beyond that, because there's 1,000,001 people playing World Eaters with a couple of units of spoilers, I think they called, bum rushing you in a Rhino with a Kratos behind you. That is the typical loadout. Everyone does that. How can we make your army unique? So for World Eaters, a couple of the options that I've been flirting with in the past. Destroyer Company, just those new Mark II jump packs. Take the jump pack off, grey armor. Beautiful, beautiful looking army. Option 2 with the World Eaters, Delvaris's fleet-based ZM force. So you just have a bunch of World Eaters with the shields locking together, shield wall. Small little 1,500 point army supported with Dreadnoughts, Lork, sweet as a nut. Emperor's Children. I've toyed with this idea for years. I've loved the idea of, and I think I'm trying to recreate this in some way with the Black Legion. I like the idea of the Emperor's Children in 30k being on the precipice. Half the force would be in more traditional, regal, royal purple colours. Palatine blades, things that look like that, very prim, pristine, the Legion of old. The other half would just be batshit fucking crazy. I'd do them in lurid, like bile green, yellows, fluorescent colours. Really go down to town on making them as individualistic as possible. There'd be no cohesion with them whatsoever. And then smack bang in the middle of them would be Eidolon. I'm not really sure how to represent this dichotomy, this change in the Legion. You could even go like a two-face route and do like half and half, like one half of the armor like a lurid pink, the other half imperial purple. But I think that would be a really engaging list to go. But we need more information from you. Black Legion, self-evident. Black Legion are the best. I love Black. Like that, the book series by ADB, that's over 10 years old now. It's over 10 years old, or nearly 10 years old. Right. Red Hand Destroyers. Yeah, that army would be fucking sick to collect. Theme-wise, as a force, there will become blood drinkers in the second founding. Is anybody else kind of flirting with the idea of scouring? Or was it just me? Okay, let's go on to the next portion of this. Is this still good? Okay. Oh, I'm not sure whether I want to go full orange with this. So I'm going to use, what is it? Ruby red. Let's see what ruby red looks like. I'm really flirting with the idea of doing a Flesh Terror army for scouring. I would like to collect another Horus Heresy army, but I feel between the Suns and the Blood Angels, I don't want to collect a new like full-on Legion force. I feel like my days of painting 40-odd Marines for myself are done. So what can I do? How can I like the idea of like a third ed Rhino Rush army, but Flesh Terrors. Oh, has anybody else got the new Scouring book? By the way, Johan, I know if you're still there, I know you've got it. Have you tried it out yet? Have you tried it out? Have you listened to it yet? Yeah, there we go. Ruby red works. And, oh, do you know what we could do? We could be clever with this. The bounce reflection, we can make warmer with the orange tone. Ha ha ha. We are so clever. There you go, let's light it under there. So any bounce reflection I have will have the orange. Any lighter tones, zenithal light, light from above, will have the ruby red. We are super duper clever. So that way all the shadow, all the areas that fall into shadow will have a slightly warmer impression to them. How many people are watching? 6! 6 people hanging in there. 6 people down from 10. I wonder how many people we've had on here. I think I've had up to 30 people on the stream. And that's the record. So if you know anybody with a mobile phone, grab them and put it on. Let's see whether it could be 30, shall we? Perhaps I should talk about football. That all seems to be very popular in the live streamosphere. Okay. In order to break this up slightly, I can add like a few dashes and dots and prancers and Rudolphs. Ooh, okay, that bounce reflection. So we're building a light source from this angle, slightly warmer. From this angle, slightly cooler. This is Avril Lavigne now. This isn't Christmas music. Alexa, play Christmas music. Ooh, it's a station. Okay, I didn't even need to put that big of a highlight up here. Look, just those little dots. And it sets, sets everything else off. Okay, I converted a Moritat that I custom built years ago with 2 melter pistols. So that miniature is the most fun unit to use in the Blood Angel list. He will either win you the game, single-handedly, or he'll die without doing the thing. So my own Moritat, his claim to fame was that he killed a Warhound Titan with his Inferno pistols. And he also, well, he didn't quite kill Angron, but he killed the butchers around him. Just that chain fire. Is chain fire still the same in this edition? You keep rolling up to 6 dice per pistol. I really looked at Moritats for Sons of Horus. It's strange, like the console choices for the Blood Angels should work very effectively for the Sons of Horus as well. Things like Moritats, Chaplains, but you never seem to take them in the Sons of Horus force, and I don't either. It's always like Chieftains or, of course, Abaddon. To hell with using Horus Ascended. Guy was a fool. Abaddon is the man. I am a big Abaddon fanboy. Yeah, just that little pip. I don't have to do any blending whatsoever. You can see when I revolve it round just how much of an impact those little dots of ruby red have had. So let's dot it on here. Come on, camera. No, do not sign me up for Amazon Music. He always tries to upsell me. No, I do not want a subscription service. Leave me alone. Just play me crappy Christmas music. Oh, it's turned off now. Oh, she's in a huff. All right. Okay. Well, what have we got? No, you were saying... Oh, hold on. Let me put a couple of these. Let me take a drink and read this. No, you're saying Scouring, which is super excited for the current state of heresy, but what about Loken, Mournival, and Lunar Wolf list idea? Have Justarian to be popping in their armor? Yeah. If you go white or grey like the False Gods cover, everything Sons of Horus traitors in 2nd, 3rd edition. There's a Black Shield list where you can just run like a 13th Samurai type list, which is just like a bunch of characters. That would make a really good list for like the Satnine offensive. So you could bring in Loken, Indrid Har, Garrow, whoever else was there. I'm not sure whether Garrow was there. But I'm not. As a modeling opportunity, like the Lunar Wolves seem fun. It's just they don't really operate in the heresy, and they don't really operate in the Scouring. So it feels like you're painting them as like pre-heresy. Don't let me tell you not to do it. It's just, this is my internal logic thinking. I'm not such a fan of the Lunar Wolves in Horus Heresy. Just mentally, I can't make them work. I mean, I'm sure there are forces out there who stripped off the colour of the Sons of Horus once they discovered their allegiance, but then surely they become more like Black Shields rather than a Legion force, because they wouldn't be supplied by their main Legion. Any other killer combinations we've seen with the Black Legions? Black Shields. Seen some pretty gnarly ones out there, really, and not game afraid. For a community that prides itself on being narrative focused, we do some pretty shitty things to the rules. I can't operate in silence. Alexa, play Christmas songs. I know you stopped playing. I know you stopped playing. You're going to huff with me. What are you going to play now? Okay, that's more like it. Bit of Mariah banging it out. Black Legion doing the Scouring sounds pretty cool. Yeah, Black Legion, they come right at the very tail end of the Scouring. And it's debatable whether they are even a Scouring era force, because really they made a plunge into real space in any kind of significance after the Legion Wars, which concluded with the Abaddon. So, I mean, any excuse just to shoehorn this collection in to playing games of Heresy, because I love the look of the rules. This new Heresy edition just seems so good to play. And any kind of excuse to run these guys. Okay, I'm going to deal with the bounce reflections now with the orange. Am I on camera? Yeah, just about. No need to shout at me. Yeah, that might be a good question. What dream armies or collections do you hope to achieve? What's that one army you've always wanted to do? Just had a burning passion for. Kitty, I know yours. We'll be realizing it next year with the World Eaters. Black Legion are a big one for me, but I feel like I'm doing that at the moment. Flesh Tearers are another big one. Just Rhino Rush in 3rd edition. I have so many fond memories of that type of list. Just running around, putting in work. An Eldar army as well, like that really bright, beautiful colour scheme. Same with the High Elves, like a Caledonian army dominated by dragons. I think would be a gorgeous army to collect. Okay. How long have we been streaming for? Oh, nearly an hour. Holy shit. That went fast. Okay. I think I got just enough time to throw a bit green on here. I think we could do a shoulder pad. Oh, actually, I don't want to start something and not finish it. What can we do green on you? Maybe this. Maybe we could do this in green. I think that'd be a quite cool thing to do. Another cool thing you could do with this, I love doing to my miniatures in general, taking a knife and just scoring into it. So a couple of these transitions are a little bit blocky. I can obscure them. I can obscure the eye by slashing this over the top. And the metallic pigment's going to kind of like fold it over for me. So in order to bring this up to spec, so to speak, I need to spend like another 20 odd minutes working on the armor, just on the transitions. But tonight isn't about work. It's about having fun and spending time with my friends. All 8 of you. Fuck yeah. Lovely to see you all with my infrequent live streams. Okay. Yeah, I think we could do something green on them. Let's do the Christmas tree on them. Then we got the green and the red. Let me look at your comments on here. Airman Paz. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call you Air. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Let me put this away. So I can safely say Forged Red as a base coat, very successful. Would not the highlight works great for bounce reflection. The shade, I do not like at all. Would not buy. Ruby Red as the highlight, very good. Base, didn't try. Shade, didn't try, but looks a bit too brown. Crimson Magenta, didn't use at all. Crimson Magenta, we used the shade for Crimson Magenta. This is exceptional for shading reds. Really like that color. Okay. Beetle Green, Duskin Green, Amber Green, Duskin Green, I'm feeling. Beetle. Did I say Beetle Green or Duskin? Beetle. I want a Beetle. God fucking damn it. Beetle Green, please. I would do either an Elder army or Tau army. Now, would that be like a 2nd edition? Would that be new edition? I really like the new sort of like plastics for the Eldar. So I'd probably do a Neanderthal army. I like the idea of all those big, bright yellows. I've had an idea for the carapace of the skull, using sort of like a marbling technique for it. I'm not, just in case I do this idea, I don't want to give too much away. Supported by aspect warriors then, for a little bit of color variation. I remember a book years ago that was written that elder armies benefit from really bright color schemes. And they do, and they really show you off as a miniature painter as well. Right, okay, beetle green. Beetle, beetle, beetle. Okay, I am going to, I think this is just a pinch too bright. Yeah, it's just a pinch too bright for what I want from this. So I'm going to go straight in with the ink and mix this together. We did this in the last live stream. Darken it. This is the kind of color that I want for my base coat. Okay. I can leave a little bit of shadow at the bottom to give me maximum contrast. Maximum effort on my own camera, yep. Yeah, in the Anden army, I had an Ulthway army when I was a kid. I painted them in kind of like it was a pre-shading technique before pre-shading was technically a term. So I black heavy dry brush over the top and I just layered them with inks. And they produced a pretty good result on them. But this is the time where star cannons were strength 6 AP2, 3 shots each. And the Seer Council was, oh. They had the ability for a 4-up rerollable. I want to put green somewhere else. Green. I think we could do a green blade. So I'm boxing clever here in order to give me more of a chance at more contrast. I could bang like a little bit of black in here. Oh, is this Feliz Navidad? Oh, it's really Christmas now when I'm hearing this. Yep, Feliz Navidad. You have this song in your head for the rest of the evening, I'm sorry. You see, I'm chopping the brush down, dragging the pigment where I want it to sit. A Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. You know, all Welshmen can sing. Okay, I'm going to leave this dry. Get rid of this. I need a clean palette. Right, well, sorry if Chris doing well. Oh, hi, yo. I know you've been 3D printing anything cool recently. Just need the weather to stop raining so I could airbrush. Oh, God, tell me about. Oh, we got 10 viewers. 10. It feels more significant for some reason. Everyone take a shot. No, I mean, if you're teetotal, I don't mean to send you into bad habits. Beetle green. Okay, pure beetle green. You a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I've been trying out all the mince pies recently. You can tell I've put on a bit of weight. I've been caning. I've been doing like little reviews of them mentally. So far, nothing really stands out. I've had co-op ones. They do like an orange flavor one. Bang average. They're normal mince pie, like the bog standard one. Bang average. Sainsbury's, I've tried the puffy ones, like the puff pastry. Bang average. There's no exceptional. I've even had Marks and Spencer's one, thinking, okay, this is a surefire hit. I'm spending 17 quid on these things, pastries. Bang average. Ugh. Any recommendations for good mince pies out there? Even if you're international. Dan, give me a good mince pie recommendation. You can see we have quite a nice transition here. We can break this up ever so slightly. So this brush is a Rosemary Cone number 2, size 2 rather, series 66. It comes with, see, it's kind of like flat on one edge, and it's like a wedge. Dan, if you want some of these, let me know, I can bring them out for you. And the advantage is I can do like these big sweeping motions with the brush, or if I need to do really precise work, like I'm about to, I can flatten it, drag it to a point, and do really super thin, fine lines. So that's the advantage of using this type of brush. Okay. Cut, cut, cut. Just to give it a little bit of battle damage. See this large area that's just completely matte. Well, we can suggest a metallic surface by adding these little cuts. This brush is from Rosemary & Co, by the way, just in case anybody's asking. What's a mince pie? Jesus Christ. That makes me sadder than it should. Right, next live stream, I'm eating the mince pie. I'm giving my live reactions to the mince pies. That's the kind of content that you come here for. That is the kind of video you are desperate for. You don't give a shit about these colors, in all honesty, do you? Consumerist trash. You came for the reviews on mince pies. Okay, beetle green. Wash. Mince pie is a little pastry, little baked good with mince. So it's not like the meat mince. Instead, it is like quince and like dried fruits in like this sticky, sugary brown paste inside of it. A good mince pie, some hot chocolate, a cold evening when everybody's out singing carols and it's snowing and you can see this tree in the background and Arnold Schwarzenegger's there and everything's right with the world. Everything's fine. Transformative. That's the feeling a mince pie gives you. It's the feeling you get at the end of Jingle All the Way, where Arnold Schwarzenegger gets that toy for his boy, and he's the hero. Merry Christmas. Anybody else have kids here? We'll be wrapping this up in a couple of minutes. But I've got 2 children, and every year we do elves, like elf stuff, import from America. And I didn't really understand the culture of elves. I thought there's these things that run into your house and like trash the place. So the elves in our house are a little bit more psychotic than the usual elves. So far, over the past few Christmases, they've stolen my car. They've trashed my office, so they've thrown things around the office. They've cut up my clothes. They've smeared their own excrement across my mouth in the form of Nutella. They've shaved a bit of my eyebrow. This year, however, that's the thing, you need to escalate it every year with the elves. So this year I got something really, because I've had the stairs replaced. I'm going to make it seem like they've ripped the stairs out of my office and thrown it about. But the coup de grace, the one I'm really proud of, the thing I think I'm going to traumatize my kids with, the elves are going to steal the dog this year. They're going to steal my dog. I'm going to take the dog, the family dog, little Riley. I'm going to drive him over to grandmother's. And he's been around there before. He's really cool with his grandmother. He nanny, loves her to bits. So I'm not traumatizing the dog. I'm only traumatizing my kids. It's fine. They're going to wake up in the morning. Where's Riley? Where's Riley? There's going to be a note. I can imagine it's the scene from like Saw or Taken. Like, we've got your dog. Yes. Anybody else planning on traumatizing their kids this year? Beetle green, the light. Mince pie is not really an American thing. Dreadful. We gave you so much. We gave you so much, but you took the translation of our culture, but you didn't take the meaning. You didn't take the soul. That's what's wrong with the world. Okay, beetle green. Edge highlight. Boom. Oh my God. And we could do a nice sharp edge here. What Christmas pastries are out there in the world, and what do you eat? You could be disappointed in me for not knowing. I ate strudel last night. I haven't eaten strudel in years. It feels like a very Christmassy thing. You can tell my concentration's going. Look how fat that line is. Dreadful. Ruined it. Need to strip the entire thing. So that's where the knife really comes in handy. If I do make any mistakes like that, bang, I can make it seem like, oh, there we go. When we revolve it around, look at that. Ooh, that tuning fork in my stomach's going off. Couple of dots here and there. Edge highlight, look at that. Green, beautiful green. Beautiful green blade. Couple of notches here and there. Voila! Done. Very handsome. Not word bearer Santa Marine. Done in true metallic metals. Gorgeous! That's everything I wanted to cover for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. Let's have a little look at what you've been saying. Mine's 19, but we never did the elf thing. It feels like it's a new creation, the elf thing. It's magical. I love it. My boy gets really into it. You know, he has that genuine feeling and emotion that these little creatures scampering into the house every Christmas, and it's become like a mini battle of wills between me and these elves. Like for whatever reason, these elves are pitted against me. So my boy really, especially the eldest one, really loves playing on that. Mince pie is on an American thing. Sounds awful. You sound awful, Johan. 2 girls. Oh, nice. Congrats. Do you do the elf thing at all? Flying Swami? Arnold is always the best. His muscles make me feel safe. Okay, at least you're going to throw out a hint to check with Grandma on the ransom note. Oh yeah, she knows the plan. She says she doesn't quite understand the plan. So I'll have to walk her through it. But you know what? My wife didn't think stealing the car was a good idea either. So the elves, they steal the car, they drive it down the road. I have to go out first thing in the morning with my boy trying to find the car. Where's the car? Those fucking elves have stolen the car again. She didn't believe it. It's his most favourite thing he does during the elf thing. He can't wait for the elves to steal the car every year. I might not get the same reaction after stealing the dog. He loves that dog, my eldest. There's him and that dog, too much. Kringle's a thing around here. It's a giant strudel. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Good old-fashioned shortbread guy. Nope, this is Sean. Brill. Okay, thank you so much for joining me for my little ramble, for my Christmas thing, whatever this is. Hope you've enjoyed it. Unless I see you beforehand, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, glad tidings to one and all. Oh, shoot, just bashed the camera. Right, I'll see you one and all. I'll let you know how the stealing the dog thing goes.